Hello, welcome to Your Ultimate Comeback, episode 120.
120.
Creeping.
I know.
I like it.
Yes.
Today, I want to talk about not just a new year, but a new era.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about some of the new things that our government has brought out.
Okay.
So the new food pyramid.
Yep.
And some big changes to peptides.
Yes.
Yeah. But before I jump into that, catching up, how's everything going?
Things are good.
Yeah.
Just a little blurry-eyed still from traveling this weekend, but you know.
You got the
like I said, I don't know how you used to do that so much, Brad.
You
got in a rhythm probably, right?
Yeah, the best advice I can give anyone that's going to get in a rhythm is expect every flight to be horrible. So when you get a good one,
you're happy.
Yeah, and when all hell breaks loose, you're just expecting it.
Yeah.
So, because they very rarely turn out
smoothly.
Yeah. But you enjoy it when it does. And
yes.
Yeah. What's the old saying? Hope for the best, expect the worst.
Right.
Yeah, that's
I think
the only
that's
way to
so
do
negative, though.
But when it comes to traveling, everything's out of your control.
Totally.
Like, the only way to make it manageable.
But you know what it made me think about is how you talk about decreasing stress, and that is such a huge stressor.
Well, that's why you have to go into that mindset of this is going to suck.
But isn't that
everything's
stressful?
Going to fall apart.
Isn't that stressful to say? It's
less stressful than going, oh, this is going to be a great flight. Everything's going to be on time. And then the whole world falls apart.
Yeah, okay.
Because then you're reacting. You're reacting like, fuck, oh, God, I'm another thing.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I'm late. I'm not going to make my connection. All the things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and I always learned if I'm traveling east, get the earliest flight out I can.
Yeah. Before things start
unwinding.
Yeah.
Anytime I tried to I'm going to stay home for a little bit and take a later flight out, that was always a big nightmare.
Yeah.
And I always had a full day allowed for traveling with nothing planned.
And don't fly through Texas. Texas always seems to have the weather.
It's Texas, it's Chicago. All the hubs are always having issues. So I don't miss that stuff at all.
I bet you don't. How often, I know this is not what our topic is, but how often did you travel? It wasn't weekly, was it?
Every other week.
Every other.
So I'd be on the road for a week.
Which felt like weekly, probably.
Yeah, so I'd be on the road for a week, home for a week.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Sometimes I'd be in 3 different cities in a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you went to every state. That's incredible.
Yeah, it was good. Not a whole lot of them I wish to go back to.
Well, you could say you did.
I feel pretty lucky where we live. Right. I know it's expensive, and I know about that, but it's like, I would rather spend more to live here.
Yeah, the weather's amazing.
Yeah.
All the things. Yeah, I agree.
Good food.
Yep.
Good weather. Good people.
Yep.
It's a little easier, I think. So I'm excited to say my daughter committed to Oregon, so she's going to be an Oregon Duck. So I'm supporting all my gear. Yeah. Super excited for that.
Yay.
But let's jump into this. Let's jump into the new food pyramid that just came out.
Isn't it inverted now?
It's literally completely inverted. So everything we've been talking about for the last 20 years about nutrition, in regards to proteins, fats, vegetables, limit your carbs, no sugar, they finally bought into.
Yeah.
And so science is now caught up. It's like, here's the answer. If it grows or walks on the ground, if it grows on the ground or walks on the ground, it's good to eat.
Yeah.
We should now eat more like a steakhouse versus a bakery. And for how long did we hear that the fats and the meat were bad for us and going to kill us and causing all the issues?
Sure.
And I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
But I'm happy. I'm happy they've caught up. I'm happy they've made that switch. So for any of you that, over the years were fighting this idea that proteins and fats were good and carbs were bad.
Yeah.
And carbs aren't bad, but you have to be cautious with them, strategic with them.
And not sugary ones.
Correct. Stay away from the sugar. Now the government is supporting it as well. So I hope people grasp onto that and accept it. And anybody that was kind of lagging on it,
here we go.
Yeah. An old mentor of mine, Charles Poliquin, always said that science is always slow to catch up. Practitioners are always ahead of the science. So these new ideas come out, practitioners are utilizing them, and they'll get a lot of beef for it. Well, science doesn't support that. And then 10, 15, 20 years later, the science catch up. And so his argument was, well, who's right? The practitioner who was doing it for the last 20 years or the science now that is caught up and agrees with what the practitioner was doing? So I've always gone after the practitioners. That's who I go and learn from and study from more than I do the institutions personally.
Yeah.
Because I like knowing what they're doing, what's new. And it's really fun because you'll start to see all the science catching up. And my clients is like, oh, we've been doing that for 10 years.
Right. So it gives some credence to what.
Yeah. So a lot of my clients now have bought into this idea of the new stuff I'm bringing to the table. They're a little more willing to try because of experiences from the past.
Sure.
So it's good. I love it. Make America healthy again.
Yeah.
They've ended the war on fat. They're actually encouraging full-fat dairy, animal proteins, and they have a zero tolerance for sugar now in the new food pyramid. Yeah.
So it doesn't even get a little blip, huh?
Nope, zero tolerance. Remember the craze with the red vines back in the day because they were
Oh my
low
God,
fat?
it's so funny you say that. No, it said fat-free on the thing.
Fat-free.
So I need a whole box.
We'd always have the big tub of red vines.
They're totally fine.
That's out. Zero tolerance. Don't eat them.
How about the black ones? Are the black vines okay?
I didn't like the black vines.
I did.
Oh, I couldn't stand them.
Really?
I'm
love
not a black
licorice.
licorice person.
I like it. Really? Okay.
I don't
My
like
husband doesn't like it either.
Yeah. And another really cool thing that just came out, I think it was February 27th of this year. Peptides. They were for the longest time a category 2 peptide, illegal, dangerous. There's not human studies on them. Don't touch them. Now all of a sudden, February 27th, 14 of them have flipped to category 1. Which means that doctors can write prescriptions for them, and they can be compounded at compounded pharmacies.
Nice.
Which is great. So if you've had any fear around the for research only peptides,
there you go.
now all of a sudden they're safe, and you can get through your doctor. They're still not FDA approved.
Okay.
But because they're category 1, they're deemed safe, and doctors can write prescriptions for them, and now compounding pharmacies can.
And it's not all of them. It's a particular list.
It's all the big ones. The most well-known ones.
Sure.
I just thought that was pretty funny because like the big fight was there's no human studies on these. There still aren't. So I think it's funny that like they were category 2 because of that. But now all of a sudden they're deemed safe.
Right.
But there hasn't been any more studies done on them, but whatever. I mean, we've known it for a long time that they're safe, they're very effective. So if you're somebody that has a fear around them in regards to because it says for research only, and you feel more comfortable getting from your doctor and having compounded, great, you now have that option.
Sure.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I love that like BPC 157 is on that category 1 list. That one was, what they call it, black boxed or something. Like it was deemed really bad, like can cause cancer, all these things.
Yes. Black box, like on the label kind of. I see.
Yeah. So maybe they still are black box, but now they're category 1, so doctors can write prescription for them. Again, they're still not FDA approved. It's just now they're deemed safe for doctors to write prescriptions for them and for compounding pharmacies to compound them. But that is cool. The ban's over.
Yeah, the ban is over.
Yeah. I still kind of, like I said, find it funny because I don't really understand what took the ban away, but I'm glad it's gone. So people that have been nervous to try them because of the fact that they weren't able to be prescribed by a doctor, hopefully will now trust that process and use them. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I've talked to a lot of people over the years, they were like just the whole thing, not for human consumption, for research purposes only, freaks them out, I won't touch it. Now that's over.
That's great.
And it's, there is a gray market out there. It's hard to find high quality good ones. And if you look on the internet, there's 500,000 websites that sell them, and you have no idea how safe it is.
And if you've looked at one, then you get all the ads, right?
Oh man, you just get pounded with them. What's funny now that this has happened, I'm now getting pounded with like telemedicine based programs that are launching and compounded based peptides, and it's like flipped. Now they're like condemning the research only peptides, like that's bad, this is good. It's like they're still the same. But so if you're somebody like me that's comfortable with the for research only, I'm very faithful in those and I like those. But yeah.
That pyramid thing, do you remember being in school and making one?
Oh yeah.
It's so funny when I think about it.
I remember when my daughter was in grade school learning about nutrition, they reached out to me and asked if I could support it.
Oh.
Because they knew what I did. They're like, we just really need your support with this. Can you not talk bad about it when your daughter brings it home? I'm like, like,
well, I can't promise you that.
No, but like we don't eat like that in my house. So that was a weird one.
I bet. I bet. That's funny that they actually reached out and asked that.
Yeah. Maybe I should send this to her school. Be like, hey,
remember this?
Remember this conversation?
Yeah. But I mean, we've gone through all of those phases, right? We kind of follow the because like you said, the red vines is a great example. I
yeah.
did go through, what were those Snackwells? Do you remember the Snackwells brand?
Yeah.
Those were fat-free too, so you
Yeah.
could eat as many of those as you wanted.
I remember, so I grew up on a dairy farm.
Right. Literally.
Yeah. And I remember when we moved into town, we switched to skim milk because
Which
my
tastes
mom
terrible.
wanted us to get healthy.
Ah.
It tastes like
Water.
watered,
Yeah.
milk-flavored
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
No.
And that was all part of that fat is bad craze.
Yep.
So there's a lot of things that we did.
I did that with our kids too.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh yeah, you got to make it skim milk, can't be whole. But and then it was 2%. I did do that for a while.
Yeah.
But butter is bad.
Yeah.
So let's make it this fake butter. That's
Margarine,
better.
yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm glad that the recommendations have caught up. I like what they're doing.
How long do you think before it actually really changes? Because I will tell you, when we were traveling over the weekend and we ate at this restaurant in South Carolina, I said, hey, it was going to be, I ordered a brisket scramble. And I thought the brisket here is going to be delicious. I'm in the South. And I said, can you just cook that in butter for me only? And she says, oh, sure, but we cook it in avocado oil. I said, what, you do? She said, yeah, and our fryer uses tallow. I said, say less.
That's awesome.
I know. So
Yeah.
I feel like it is starting to kind of trickle down. We're starting to find pockets.
I think that it's been happening for a while.
Yeah.
I just like that the government is now
sure.
supporting.
Yes.
Because the science is pretty clear that it's a healthier way to live. That all the things you scared us over,
Yep.
it wasn't causing.
Yeah.
They skewed the science
Right.
and the results to show a different scenario.
Well, let's be fair. It's going to make people in constant need. It makes us sicker
Yeah.
to eat that way, right? So you become dependent
Yeah.
upon, certain things.
System, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So it kind of makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah.
But it's funny how we've gone through so many phases of eating. I don't know if you have. Is that more a chick thing? Did you?
But I mean,
Were you always high protein though?
Well, yeah, because
say?
I like to lift weights, and that's
Right.
always been a common thing. If you want to
Sure.
put muscle on, you got to eat a lot
Right.
of protein.
So the guys are pretty standard, but
Yeah.
I think women not as much.
No, it's still hard with a lot of women to
Yeah.
get them to eat enough protein.
Right.
It's still hard to get women to eat enough food
And carbs probably too, right?
in general,
And
just food in general.
Do you think women are just used to eating what we, girl dinners, what they call, the tiny little, I'll just crack
Yeah.
open a yogurt and have a few bites of that and maybe a Triscuit and call it a day?
I mean, the more nutrition programs I see, so the first thing I ask people to do is like, what's a day look like? Give me some examples of.
And then they have to fudge it a little bit because they don't want to show you what it
Yeah,
really
but even
looks
if they're
like.
trying to fudge it, it's still
Yeah.
like,
That's
this
it.
is hardly any food. And then you give them a plan so then you have to start them off on a plan that's higher than what they're doing.
Right, which freaks them out.
But
women.
still not where they should be for the results they want. And they see that and they're like, this is so much food. I'm like, that's 1,400 calories.
Yeah.
Like, that's hardly any food.
Right.
But that's how little people are eating.
Sure.
So, but they're training like crazy. They're doing all the peptides.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have the foundational building blocks
Yeah.
for this stuff to work.
Yeah.
That, if you're lifting weights and doing peptides, but you're not eating protein or hardly eating any food, you're not going to get much result from what you're doing. The foundations and the good educators on peptides are telling people like, these things are amplifiers.
Yeah. Yes. It's a
If
great way
you
of putting
are
it.
living a healthy lifestyle, it's amplifying it in a healthy way.
Mm-hmm.
If you are living a dysfunctional lifestyle, they're amplifying the dysfunction.
Sure.
So the foundation has to come first. The peptides aren't going to override poor diet, over exercise. They're not. They're gonna have a negative. You're kind of just wasting your money.
Yeah. Right.
So, but if you get the protein up, you lift weights, you control your stress load, you work on your sleep, your hydration, like all the foundational tools. Now all of a sudden these peptides are very powerful because they're amplifying the solid foundation.
Right. For me, I think I've just started working on not perfection, not I'm getting a gram or even 0.8 per pound of ideal body weight, all the things. I'm just going to really focus on doing the best I can.
Yeah.
It's hard. It is hard to do that, but
I think we've made
you have to be
nutrition-
strategic.
Yeah, I think we've made nutrition very hard.
I agree.
I think if people were to follow this rule of if it grows in the ground or walks
Yeah,
on the ground,
right.
that's primarily what you're eating.
Yes.
You can't out-eat that.
Yeah.
You really can't.
You mean you can't have a negative effect from
Well,
eating like
it's
that?
pretty hard to
Yeah.
overconsume that kind of food.
Sure.
Because when you're eating proteins and vegetables, that's filling.
Right.
And so
But it's not always fun.
well, no, of course not, because
Yeah.
it's not as exciting to the brain. And we're used to these highly palatable foods that are high fat, high sugar, high carb,
Yeah.
that are very exciting to the brain.
Yeah.
You know, the food companies have been very smart about that. You're not going to get addicted to protein.
Yeah, that's true.
Not like
You're
a
right.
potato chip.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You know, like
You're right.
you're gonna have to work to eat it. But I think the best advice I've seen recently that I started giving is if you just eat your proteins and vegetables first. So, you know, put that on your plate.
Yeah.
After you've done that, eat whatever else you want.
Yeah.
And you're
You
gonna
might
be
not
pretty
want as much.
solid. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to eat as much. You're gonna be more satiated. Your blood sugar's gonna be more stable. You're not gonna overconsume that way.
Right.
But if you start by eating carbohydrates first and then try to eat the other things, you're gonna have some metabolic hormonal fluctuations.
Sure.
That's gonna be a little different.
It makes you snackier too, I feel like.
Yeah, 100%, because you're gonna
Yeah.
have bigger blood sugar rise and crash. So yeah, so I just tell people, like, I don't really care how much you eat. I just, you know, eat as much
wait,
protein
what?
as you can.
You don't care
Eat
how
as, you know, a lot of protein, a
Yeah.
lot of vegetables. Eat that first,
Yeah.
and then if you want the carbs or whatever else you want, have it. And so far, it's been working really well, and it's much easier for people than trying to measure and weigh. And like, I think
Yeah.
macros have been a really stressful, damaging thing.
I agree.
Because people get really obsessive over that, and people still want it. They want the macros. They want the macro plan, and it's like, this is going to stress you out. As soon as you see how much protein you're supposed to be eating, and then I tell you, I break that down into what real
Yeah.
food is,
Yeah.
you're gonna freak out, because your
It's so much.
2 boiled eggs in the morning
Yeah.
is only 12 grams of protein. You need
Yeah.
at least 30.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna like it. So if I can just communicate with them of, you know, here's some good breakfast ideas, eat, you know, just eat more
Yeah.
and get used to that,
Right.
and then you'll move on to the next thing. And everybody wants the easy answers. That's the other thing that I struggle with. I don't have time to eat. I don't have time to eat. I'm like, whoa. Okay, well, you have time to inject 7 peptides.
Yeah.
Like, that takes a lot of time.
Sure.
So,
It
but you're
does.
going to tell me you don't have time to make a smoothie, or, you know, just have us, like,
Yeah.
it's a matter of, do you really want what you want?
Absolutely.
It's what's most important to you.
Yeah.
And what's funny is if I can get people to eat breakfast within 30 minutes or an hour of waking up, all of a sudden it calms everything down. There's less stress response, and they all of a sudden have more time in the day, I've learned. But the hardest thing is getting them to have that first meal
Yes.
to get that response.
I think we were kind of trained to not eat breakfast for a while.
Well, that's where the intermittent fasting came into
Yes,
play.
yes.
That became like the new staple. And
But even before that, I can remember a lot of, even before that was in vogue, I feel like a lot of people just would skip that
yeah.
and just have their coffee.
Yeah, their coffee and their donut, or coffee and their
exactly,
muffin, their
exactly.
coffee
And
and
they
their
called
carbs,
it a
which is
day.
like the worst way to start the day.
Yeah, I had someone, I was listening to a podcast, and the person was asking the host, is the first thing that passes over your lips, is it coffee? And the host said yes. And I
Yeah.
think for a lot of people that's true.
100% is true.
Yeah. It's not water.
It's funny that they say the first thing that you eat is called the neurotransmitter cascade. So the first thing you eat sets the tone for the whole day. So if you have proteins for breakfast, you're gonna have a very different outcome in your choices throughout the day than if you start with the carbohydrates.
And the waffle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can test it out, like
Yeah.
for 7 days, just have protein for breakfast, kind of document how
Yeah.
you're feeling the day, and then day 8 have waffles or pancakes
Yeah.
or, you know, a muffin, and then see how different you feel for that day. It's incredibly different.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
they say if you can have your coffee after you've eaten, it's much more beneficial versus having it on an empty stomach, because that gives a big cortisol spike.
Coffee does.
Yeah, it has caffeine. Caffeine increases cortisol
right,
response.
right.
So
It's so gnarly on an empty stomach, I think.
yeah, unfortunately, I have no problem doing it.
Better than a Red Bull, though, on your empty stomach, or what, Celsius or something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're probably both pretty rough. But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter which. It's the worst way to start the day, whether it's an energy drink or coffee,
Yeah.
because you're starting the day with a caffeine hit that spikes the cortisol and elevates stress hormones right out the gate. Versus if you start the day with protein, it buffers.
We're
that.
going to elevate those stress hormones anyway, aren't we? So we don't need to start right in.
Yeah. Our world's stressful
I was
enough.
going to say.
We need to do as much as we can to try to buffer that
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
just stimulating it.
Yeah.
Everyone complains about the 2 p.m. crash or
Sure.
the late afternoon crash.
But they need a little treat.
Well, it's because of how they start their day.
Uh-huh.
So you're getting bigger cortisol response early in the day and then you crash later in the day, if you buffer that, you don't have that response.
Not quite as, yeah.
So really how you take care of that is not to drink more caffeine or take more energy drink or whatever, is start your day right to buffer the response so there's not as big of a crash later in the afternoon.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's really not that hard.
Yeah.
But the lifestyle part of it's tough because people like to get up and have their coffee and, they just kind of ingrain themselves in that lifestyle.
Sure, yeah.
But they always complain about the mid-afternoon crash. How do I solve that? Well, you change this. Well, I can't do that. What do I take here to get me through that?
Yeah.
It starts here.
Right.
And it's really fun when you get somebody to create that change and they start to see the difference. It's pretty awesome.
Right.
And it takes about a week to really feel it, but it's really powerful.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Because my clientele is high stress, high performers. So when they're waking up and they're drinking coffee and they're not eating till noon, they're ramping up that cortisol response. And it's just, to me, it doesn't end well. Now, if you're somebody that's lazy, doesn't have a lot of stress, doesn't like to work out, things like that, okay, it's a great tool because those people need a little bit more of a cortisol response. They're a little too flatlined, and so that helps them. And it cuts out the amount of calories they're eating.
Right.
But if you're, in my opinion, if you're a high stress, high performer and you do that, it's not as effective as if you have protein in the morning.
Sure.
Because you're getting a more stable metabolic response that way. So that's my 2 cents on that topic.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah. But
Absolutely.
I think the biggest issue I see, and I've been seeing it for years now, is we are under eating, not overeating.
Yeah.
Most people are not eating much during the day, then they have a big dinner and they don't like how they look, and it's because of that big dinner and they're just eating too much. But it's total calories in a day, and you can't overconsume enough calories in one meal to put weight on.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I guess if you slam a whole pizza or something like that, but it's pretty hard for people to do that. So they just space it out. They'll control their cortisol and insulin hormones more efficiently, and the whole metabolism cleans up. That's one of the things I like about like retatrutide and things like that, is it really helps all that. Trizepatide, retatrutide, I really like the metabolic balancing effect that it has. I think it's one of the most powerful peptides people can add in if the foundation is solid.
Yeah.
If you have a shitty foundation, try taking that stuff, it's probably not going to do a whole lot.
No.
Or it's going to take a shit ton of it to create the response, and then the rebound response is going to be horrible. But when people have a good foundation in place and they take the lower amounts and titrate up slowly, it's really impactful.
Yeah.
On weight loss, primarily fat loss. I've been on retatrutide now, literally I was on 1 milligram for 8 weeks, and I just bumped it to 1.5 milligrams, which is like nothing. My body fat's come down 6%, and my muscle mass has gone up a couple pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
And my weight has stayed pretty much the same the whole way through. I'm probably 2 pounds lighter, but from a body composition standpoint, the beautiful part is the blood chemistry, the liver enzymes, the cholesterol, the blood sugar, like all the things that are raising havoc really get cleaned up well by these things. So
that's great.
Yeah. So I think literally you just apply this new inverted pyramid, and it's going to be a game changer for a lot of people.
I agree.
So
are you using your Hume Health scale
just my scale? Yeah.
Just the scale.
I took the
band off.
It's too much data.
Yeah.
And I get too oh shit, this.
I like the scale.
Yeah, the scale's great because I can see what my body
it's so funny. I think I told you this before, that it is done the opposite of what you thought it would do. You say, I don't need you to get this because you're going to obsess. And it really is. I'm less obsessive doing that all the time than I was once a week.
Oh, good.
Because I would be like, oh, this moved.
Yeah.
Up or down.
Well, I think if you're going to track, you got to do it consistently, because you'll see there's
little
fluctuations.
Blips. Yeah. And it's interesting.
Yeah. And you can start to pinpoint, what did I do last night that caused this?
Yeah.
What did I do yesterday that caused this?
Well, obviously body water has something to do with it, right? And I guess stress and all the other things.
Yeah, you'll start to see how it's having some impacts, but you can start to see the trending over time.
Yeah, for sure.
So you can look at it by day or by week or by month. And when you do it by the month, you can really see the trends when you're doing it every day.
Sure.
I think it's really powerful. But yeah, I took the wrist part off because it's just, that to me is stressful. I didn't sleep great last night. My HRV's down.
Then you see it right there.
Yeah. I'm going to feel horrible today. And I hate that mindset of, my HRV's changed, my recovery's bad. I'm going to feel, so of course I'm going to feel horrible that day.
Yeah.
When I don't have it on there, I'm not getting positive reinforcement of, okay, this is going to be a bad day.
Yeah.
One of the things that I started playing with as well, I'm a really big fan of glycine before bed. And I was doing 3 milligrams, or sorry, 3 grams a night before bed with my magnesium, and I really liked it. And then Jay sent me over a new research piece where they found people increasing their intake of glycine and the positive impacts it was having. So I recently doubled my amount of glycine to 6 grams.
Okay.
Been a game changer for my deep sleep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good.
First night I did it, I was out.
Okay.
Like out. So.
And you don't wake up feeling groggy?
No, I've been waking up feeling great. I mean, today was rough because it was the first early morning on the
new time
daylight
change.
saving stuff. But
so you did the glycine, how much?
I'm doing 6 grams of it.
As opposed to what's the...
I was doing 3 grams prior.
And that's what they typically say to do?
Typically it's 3 grams. But Jason has a cool study is showing, and people in the study were doing a lot more than the 6 grams. But I'm like, I'm going to take more and just see what happens. And it had a much more positive effect on me.
You and Jay love to be a science project.
Oh, it's so fun. That's why I love working with him, because we do some crazy stuff. It's like, oh, that's working well. Like, damn, that did not work.
Oh, that's good. You do it so we don't have to.
Well, yeah, I'd rather work with someone who has that same mindset of like, I really like this idea. Let's play with it.
Yes.
Same thing like the workouts and stuff. Like, we play with all of them before we start integrating them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, same thing with like supplements, nutrition, all that stuff. We're going to play with it first, make sure we're super comfortable with it, know what we're doing to people, know what they're experiencing before we ask them to do it.
Perfect.
Yeah, so nothing worse than like training with someone that has never done the workout they're having you do, and you're just getting blasted.
Like, wait a damn minute.
Yeah, I'll even do it with my kids, like, because I'm a coach, so I see a lot of coaches like screaming at these kids, expect them to do this crazy stuff, and I'm like, bro, I couldn't do that right now. And I know it because I'll get out and train with my son, the workouts that we do. You can't do that right now.
No.
You're asking them to do something you physically could not do.
Right.
You would kill yourself if you did it. Like, have some empathy for these kids. I learned that through one of my old martial arts instructors. Like, if you wanted to learn new stuff, you had to experience what it felt like.
Sure, I like that.
To have empathy towards the people you're doing it to. So
makes sense.
Yeah, so that's why I like working with Jay, because we're always in that empathetic mode of, what are we putting people through?
Right.
Is it enough? Is it too much? Who can handle it, who can't? Because it's pretty easy to go blast people when you have no idea what it feels like.
Definitely.
And it doesn't look that bad, because it never looks that bad. I ran routes with my son and did like a speed plyo workout with him. I was so damn sore. I'm like, damn, this is so hard.
Yeah. Probably made Gavin feel good to see.
Oh yeah, he totally did.
Yeah.
And he was pumped that I did it with him. But it's like, wow, like,
this is no joke.
This is no joke. Like, these kids are pretty damn tough. Like, this is hard what we're asking them to do.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
So I think that's it.
All right. Thank you. I like another quickie, but it was good.
Yeah.
In and out.
In and out.
Yeah.
Down and dirty.
Yep. Thanks, Brad.
Awesome. Thank you.